The night he touched her, his fate was already sealed. The night he touched her, his fate was already sealed. He just didn't know it yet. Rain had turned the village road into a shining black ribbon that reflected the moon like a broken mirror. The smell of wet soil filled the air. Crickets fell silent as Ravinder's motorcycle approached the peepal tree near the abandoned well. The engine coughed, slowed, and finally rolled to a lazy stop. Under the tree stood a woman. She was barefoot. Her red sari clung to her skin. Long black hair hid most of her face. She looked like someone who had been crying for a long time. Ravinder removed his helmet, wiping rainwater from his eyes. His breath smelled of liquor. His smile was slow and confident. "Aren't you afraid to stand alone at night?" he asked. She lifted her head slowly. Her eyes were dark, deeper than the night around them. "My house? I can't find it," she whispered. Her voice trembled, but something in it felt heavy, like the sound carried more than just words. Ravinder stepped closer. The air around her felt colder. Even the rain seemed to fall slower near her. "I can drop you," he said. She hesitated, then nodded. When she sat behind him on the motorcycle, her fingers touched his waist. They were ice cold. Ravinder shivered, but laughed it off. The road ahead twisted into darkness. As they rode, he noticed something strange. There were no insects, no barking dogs, no night birds, just the engine and the wind. She told him to stop near an abandoned house hidden behind banyan roots and broken bricks. "This is my place," she said softly. Ravinder frowned. The house looked dead. Vines strangled its walls. Windows were empty black holes. "No one lives here," he muttered. She smiled slowly. "Not anymore." He followed her inside. Moonlight cut thin silver lines across the dusty floor. The house smelled of burnt oil and damp ash. Her feet made no sound. Ravinder stepped closer, his confidence rising again. She looked at him. Her eyes reflected moonlight and then glowed faintly red. The air subtly filled with the smell of burning hair. Her neck twisted at an unnatural angle. Her feet bent backward. Her shadow detached from her body and began crawling up the wall. Ravinder's heart slammed violently. She laughed. A dry cracking sound like breaking bones. "You took what was not yours," she whispered. "Now I will take what belongs to you." The door slammed shut. The darkness swallowed his scream. He did not die that night. He begged for it. But death was not his punishment. 3 days later, Ravinder was found wandering near the cremation ground. His hair had turned white. His eyes were hollow and sunken. His lips trembled constantly. "She is waiting," he kept repeating. People thought he had lost his mind, but the village began to change. Every night at exactly 2:17 a.m., Ravinder screamed in his sleep. He clawed at his skin, leaving bleeding marks as if something were crawling under his flesh. He cried, begged, laughed, and whispered apologies to someone no one else could see. Women in the village began to dream of a red-eyed woman standing at their doors. Dogs refused to walk past the abandoned house. Milk curdled overnight. Mirrors cracked without being touched. Bangles broke on their own. An old priest was finally called. He examined Ravinder and whispered in fear. "She is a Chudail," he said, "and she is not alone. A Pisachini walks behind her. The Chudail punishes the body. The Pisachini eats the soul." The priest said Ravinder had been marked. His karma had been chosen. Ravinder began seeing her everywhere, in water, in shadows, in reflections. She whispered his name through walls. His shadow started moving in the opposite direction of his body. He began losing chunks of hair. Black veins crept across his skin. He smelled of burning oil. One night, his mother found him sitting in the courtyard, smiling at nothing. "She says my soul is ripe," he whispered. That night, he walked barefoot toward the cremation ground. Villagers followed his footprints. They found his clothes. They found his bones. But his shadow was missing. From that day onward, men who hurt women began disappearing in the village. And sometimes, late at night, a woman in a red sari is seen near the banyan tree, smiling, waiting, because karma never forgets, and she never forgives.